All right, guys, week 7 is a thing of the past. We're going to dive right into week 8, guys. We've got the news and notes. We're going to tell you about the injuries. We've got some buy-sell candidates halfway through the season here. And then we got some great start sits for week 8. Let's go! All right. Welcome to the show. This is the Frankly Fantasy Football Podcast. We are your hosts, Frankie and Johnny. Welcome into the halfway point of the fantasy football season, Frank. How you holding up so far, baby?
Oh, I feel like I just got nuts of steel. When you just, win all 4 of your leagues, Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday just feels a little bit better, baby. Walking around, slapping them on the table. Yeah, baby. Feeling good, John. Feeling real good.
I was going to say your camera feels heavy. It's
the
balls.
Heavier today.
It's the big balls.
It's the balls on you. But yeah. Oh yeah. Halfway there, man. Can you believe this shit?
Unbelievable. It's just going so quickly. It's unbelievable, man. We're right in the heart of it, right in the belly of the beast right now. Let's talk a little bit about week 7, man. I mean, it's getting crazy around here, man, in these streets. It's getting a little dangerous in these streets, man. I think we have some new top stacks in the league right now, man, due to some injury, due to some factors. But Matthew Stafford, Devontae Adams, holy shitballs. Fire that stack up. It's so beautiful. Dak and CD, welcome back, CD Lamb.
Welcome back.
Welcome. Hopefully you guys took our advice last week and tried to move George Pickens for a real high price, because I think you could have gotten it. No touchdown on a Pickens. He had, 80 yards, 6 catches, something like that.
4 catches, 80 yards, yep.
4 catches, 80 yards, yeah. So 4 catches here, guys. Try to move him if you can. We talked about it last week. Could be too late, though. And Mahomes and Rashee Rice. Welcome back, Rashee Rice. I mean, moving forward here, man. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, QB1 on fantasy football right now. Getting Rashee Rice back is not going to hurt that. I don't see that going anywhere. I think it's a fantastic stack, man. Welcome back. If you got Mahomes, you got him at a great value this year, guys. Enjoy that. All right, Frankie, I've got some questions for you from last week because I'm confused.
Okay.
The Bears. This just seems to be a team I cannot predict what's going to happen. I stayed away because there's too many mouths to feed. I'm glad I did because I don't know what to do with DJ Moore. Rome Odunze seems to pop up and go crazy, then seems to disappear. The tight end situation's in flux. Both of them are banged up right now. All of a sudden, you got DeAndre Swift and Kyle Menungai, rookie running back, taking everything. And Caleb did what? What did he have, 3 points last week? 4 points last week?
4 points.
Okay, so is the Bears running game real, or what are we doing moving forward here with these guys?
Guys, I think we're starting to see the Ben Johnson effect. I think we're actually starting to see DeAndre Swift being a super light version of Jahmyr Gibbs and Menungai being that of the younger version of David Montgomery. This is what Ben Johnson wants to do. And here's what's fascinating. When you ask me, hey, are they legit? Let's take a look. DeAndre Swift, since week 4, because they had a bye week in week 5. Week 4, 14 fantasy points. Week 6, 26.5 fantasy points. And week 7, 21.3 fantasy points. And then you look at what Menungai is doing, man. Again, right? No Roschon Johnson. It is Kyle Menungai. Over the last 2 weeks, man, he was RB 37, so not great. He had only 5 rushing attempts, 19 yards, and then he had 1 target, 1 reception. But this past week, 13 touches, 81 yards, and a touchdown. John, I think we're going to start seeing a 2-back tandem. It's going to take some pressure off of that of Caleb Williams. And when you ask me, are they for real? Dude, I think they are. I think they are moving forward.
All right, so we're starting DeAndre Swift and feeling good about that, I guess, moving forward. First of all, Kyle Menungai needs to be on your team.
Yes.
But is this a guy? We're looking at week 8 at Baltimore, week 9 at Cincinnati, week 10 at home against the Giants. You've got some teams you can run on here, man. I mean, are you debating on whether or not you can put Menungai in your starting lineup? Look at the bipocalypse we have this week, man.
Yes. The answer is yes, guys, because, John, and I know I don't want to sneak too far ahead, but guys, from the bye weeks, Cardinals, Lions, Jags, Raiders, Rams, and Seahawks. Okay, that's a shit ton of running backs there. Yeah. And so for me, man, if you're not going to start Kyle Menungai, within the next 3 weeks? I don't know if you're going to, unless there's an injury. And here's why. Baltimore, yes. Cincinnati, yes. Giants, yes. But then it's Minnesota, Pittsburgh, Philly, Green Bay, Cleveland, Green Bay. Those are not great teams to start a second-tier running back, right? We're not talking about DeAndre Swift. We're talking about the second guy here. So for me, yes, in deep leagues, 14, 16-team leagues, there is value for Kyle Menungai this week and potentially next. But outside of that, guys, just keep him rostered, keep him cozy. If something happens, then you're ready to lock and load.
If you don't need him, still pick him up.
Definitely.
Because the schedule it's nice for these next couple of games, but then it does get really brutal. He could be a trade piece for you guys. There's a couple more bipocalypses coming up here. So if he blows up again this week, look at moving his ass. Get yourself a flex piece for him. Get something. Don't sit on your good record and not make moves. You can improve even your 7-0 team. Trust me, I'm doing that as well.
And John, talking about moving, is there like somebody moving around your neighborhood? Is there construction?
You know what?
Done?
I thank you for pointing that out. I hope to God that our AI studio sound software here fixes the ambient sound behind me, because stop goddamn handling. Jeez, I feel like Bill Murray in Scrooged when,
that's good.
Remember when the hammering going on in the back?
For the love of everything that's holy and the love of God, stop the goddamn hammering.
There's construction. I live downtown, guys.
Yeah.
There's construction outside. It happens. Apparently, they're jackhammering the fucking street constantly all day.
Nice.
All right. I digress. Hopefully, you guys don't hear that at all. And this is just a funny thing that a freak out of
there you
Johnny,
go.
and that's it. Yeah. All right. All right, moving forward here, man. Frankie, there's some running backs. We've got some serious young talent that is now at the top of the running back rooms of all these teams. Top of the rankings for the running backs. Holy shit, man. I mean, let's rip them off here, man. Jahmyr Gibbs, incredible. Bijan Robinson,
amazing.
Absolutely insane. JT, Jonathan Taylor, back to his 2021 self, man. 10 touchdowns this season in 5 games for JT. You know who did it the last time? JT in 2021. Yeah, so he's back, baby. And my God, does he look insanely good. Quinshon Judkins and Scatterboo. We got some rookies, baby. Quinshon, this is exactly what the Browns goddamn needed, and he's given it
Chubb
all
2.0, baby. I'm willing to say it.
Chubb 2.0, yeah. Yeah, I mean, they need to get that passing game under control and actually have some sort of threat back there. Otherwise, this won't last. Is Quinshon a trade candidate for you?
He's a trade for. I mean, and the reason being, guys, is it's just he's the offense. But again, the issue is you're going to have to give up quite a bit for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And Devon Achane, just a guy. I know this team's an absolute mess. It's a shit show over there. But Achane he's the talent on the team. So regardless of quarterback, he's going to be heavily involved.
And John, what's really cool with these running backs, guys, they're going to set the market. That's why this is important. We always talk about the quarterbacks and the receivers and all this other shit going on. Well, here, the reality is there's a changing of the guard at quarterback. You may have 5, 6, 7 legitimately good young quarterbacks. I'm not talking about the Matt Staffords of the world. I'm not even talking about Jared Goff, right? Those are kind of the older cats, right, that have been around for a little bit that are always floating in that top 15 realm, right? That's not what I'm talking about. And so, with the changing of the guard at quarterback, there's been some issues, right? Like Caleb Williams hasn't really taken that step. Jaden Daniels has, but he's kind of in and out a bit. And obviously we're seeing Bo Nix do good things, but is it consistent enough? Same thing with Drake May. We're seeing good stuff, but the consistency needs to be there for multiple years yet. So for me, man, looking at actual value of the NFL position, that being running back, dude, this is exciting. This is super exciting. We saw that wave of Saquon, Derrick Henry, and those guys, and now we're seeing this elite, I'm saying elite of elite players that are going to reset the market, and it's fun as shit to watch.
I think the days are over going into next year's fantasy draft where you're seeing all receivers taken.
100%.
You're going to see a lot of first-round running backs next year, and rightfully so, man. These guys are young as shit, and they do everything. They do it all. So I love it, man. Talk to me a little bit, Frankie, about the Panthers backfield here with Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard. We got to see what that looks like now, and where are we? Is it too late to move Dowdle? Was it last week?
Yeah, it's too late to move Dowdle, guys. I mean, they're going to be a split backfield. Now, again, Rico still outperformed Chuba. I mean, that's just the reality of it. But Chuba is getting more work than Rico. And so for me, man, like, I think that the tables are going to be turned. I think it's going to be Rico kind of taking the charge a little bit more. But at the same time, they're split in time. So this is really painful, unfortunately. And dare I say, they might actually cancel each other out until we see one kind of rise to the surface.
I'm just laughing because I don't know how you can say Rico and Chuba with a straight face.
Right?
Like, these are normal names I see every day.
Rico and Chub.
Yeah, next to the cubicle next to me, the guy's name's Chuba. Yeah.
Oh, hi, Chubes.
What's up, Chubes? All right, the Eagles passing attack. Frankie, they found their way in the passing attack. Let me ask you this. Is A.J. Brown a trade candidate?
So this is interesting. I am going to say no. I want to keep A.J. Brown after being in hell purgatory with him because I'm seeing this trajectory. Now, it also depends on your team makeup. Yeah. Meaning, if you have additional key pieces at receiver, let's say you hit on Emeka Egbuka, let's say you drafted some of these other top-tier guys, JSN, for example, then yes, you can totally trade A.J. Brown right now, get you a good-ass running back piece, or upgrade your quarterback, or upgrade your tight end, something along those lines, and it's completely fine. However, if you're injury-ridden, if you know that you're on bye week left and right, you got a couple guys out, maybe you have Amon-Ra, or you got Jahmyr Gibbs, or whatever it is from that standpoint, and you're looking at A.J. Brown to kind of be your anchor, is what I'm trying to say, then unfortunately, no. I'm going to ride in the flames with him, but there's totally a viable path forward, though, for a yes.
I'm with you on that. I think you could go either way, and it's completely based on your team makeup. Like you said, If you struck gold and you've got some top 10, the top 10 in receivers here, it's not what we expected here. First of all, JSN's number one receiver.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. But you got George Pickens, you've got Emeka Egbuka, Devontae Adams, Keenan Allen, Michael Pittman, Quentin Johnston, all in the top 10. Completely unexpected. So if you hit on a couple of those guys, and you're just, you've got an abundance of riches at the receiver position, I would absolutely move A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
And upgrade your tight end. Look at getting a guy like a Brock Bowers at a low price with a flex piece. You could get some viable options here. So I think it could go either way just based upon your team makeup. No question about it, man. Saquon, you talked about the changing of the guard at running backs here. Saquon, talk about it a little bit, man. Are you concerned?
I am concerned. There is legitimate concern with Saquon Barkley right now, guys, and here's why. The last 5 weeks, here's what his finishes have been. Okay? Running back 31, running back 17, running back 10, running back 21, and running back 38. Guys, in that entire 5-week span, he has 2 total touchdowns. Saquon Barkley is going through the struggle bus right now. And for me, man, it's strictly because it's almost like they can't live in the same world, whether the passing game is performing well and so is Saquon, or it's Saquon performing well and there's nothing happening from like A.J. Brown's standpoint. Devonta Smith kind of seems like he's always kind of up there doing his thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, this is totally a time period to where, do you think about offloading Saquon? That's a legitimate question you could be asking yourself. Now, you got to be real. Like, can you get the top tier value for him? Probably not. Is his name brand value 100% there? Absolutely. So you could totally package up Saquon in another piece to get a superstar piece, in my opinion. I totally think that that's viable. But again, you're going to be selling Saquon Barkley a smidge short of what he probably would go. So you got to be kind of thinking this through. Again, guys, he's not performing well. I'm lumping him in with Derrick Henry. There's some issues going on, but Derrick Henry has a much more favorable schedule moving forward, which we'll talk about.
Yeah, and he's not scoring the touchdowns.
Right.
That's really the big issue. He's got 3 rushing touchdowns and 1 receiving touchdown. But even the yardage, when he's getting 18, 19, 20, touches here, he's still only getting 44, 46, 43 yards. His high is 88 rushing this year, and that was at KC in week 2. He's got a bye coming up in 2 weeks as well. So as you're planning ahead, if you feel like you need to move Saquon because of the name value and get some extra pieces, because let's be honest, you took Saquon in the first round, you're probably sitting at 3 and 4 right now, or 2 and 5. So make some moves and improve your team, guys. Do not sit on all of these players and hope to God because you drafted them in the first round that they're going to turn it around. That means nothing right now.
Throw it away.
Throw it away. Throw it away. All right, Frankie, let's get to the news, baby.
The season 2000 yards. Just don't expect absolutely lost.
News and notes.
All right, bring out the bell. It's not a terrible loss, but it's a loss here. Kendre Miller, running back for the New Orleans Saints, torn ACL. He is out for the season. He gone. Michael Penix Jr., let's go to the Falcons here. He's got a bone bruise in his foot, quarterback for the Falcons. He's day-to-day right now, looking like Kirk Cousins may get the start this week, man.
Ooh, boy.
Brilliant move on their part, not trading
Totally.
Kirk Cousins. This is why they didn't do it, guys, because there's going to be a time where they're going to need him, and they've got a team who can win and get to the playoffs with Kirk Cousins. They've got the Dolphins at home this week, baby.
Dream.
Yeah, we talked about it last week, guys. We pulled up the defenses, and one of the 2 to 3 defenses you start everybody against, it's Miami.
Dolphins.
It's the Dolphins. We saw it with the Browns last week. So let's go, baby. Let's go. All right, Jaden Daniels left the game with a hamstring injury. Not considered super serious, which could have been IR type scenario.
Yes.
But the status is still unknown this week, Frank. Mariota is looking like he's probably going to get the start. Talk to me about this just bruised and battered Washington Commanders offense, man. What can we do with this, guys?
Here's the deal. If Jaden Daniels does not play, you can't play anybody. Like, the reality is the only person that you're firing up is Zach Ertz against this, with this next week. TMC, Terry McLaurin, is going to be potentially trending towards being out. Deebo Samuel still is not okay. Even if he's playing, he's still not okay. And so Mariota coming in, I mean, you look at what Luke McCaffrey did with Jaden Daniels, and then look at what he did when Jaden Daniels went out and Marcus Mariota came in. 0. He goose it. So when you're thinking about Marcus Mariota starting, guys, this completely shuts down the rushing attack with Bilbo, right? JCM. And then Terry McLaurin, there's very limited opportunity or anything on the edges here from a receiver standpoint. And then honestly, Mariota just isn't that sexy. So outside of Zach Ertz, guys, there isn't anybody I'm playing this week.
Yeah, it kills Bill completely. Yeah. Kill Bill, man. It's Jaden Daniels going down, but it's going to be tough. I mean, if you can not start Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, don't.
Yes.
But with the bye weeks coming up this week,
to.
You might have to. But man, really temper your expectations on that one. Stay away from all of the Washington Commanders in DFS as well.
Yes.
Darren Waller, tight end for Miami's, come on strong, had a huge resurgence. He's got a pec strain. He's considered week to week. It doesn't sound good, guys. He's probably going to miss some time here. Also for the Dolphins, backup running back Hassan Haskins did not practice on Monday. Bryce Young, quarterback for the Panthers, has a high ankle sprain. He's going to miss at least week 8. Guys, we know what high ankle sprains, they're typically about a 4 to 5 week absence here. We're going to have to monitor him, but we've got Andy Dalton now to start versus the Bills. How does this change the Panthers offense for you?
Guys, this is actually not a bad thing. I mean, I know that's crazy to say from a fantasy perspective, right?
Yeah.
I see T-Mac, right? Teteroa McMillan, maybe getting an uptick. I see Xavier Legette, maybe continuing what we saw from last week, right? And we got killed for saying, you should be looking to pick up Xavier Legette. I had people coming out of the woodwork, man, on like TikTok and Instagram saying, you're nuts. What are you talking about? Well, guys, 2 out of the last 3 weeks he's scored, and he looks pretty damn good. And so to have somebody opposite of that of T-Mac is fantastic. So Andy Dalton, what we do know with Andy Dalton, dude's going to sling the ball. Now he's going to throw potentially 3 picks, but he could also have 300 yards passing. And against the Bills defense that is down right now, in a positive gain script, assuming that Josh Allen does his thing, guys, this could actually be a really fun fantasy week for Panthers receivers specifically.
Yeah. Yeah, and they need it too, man. I mean, Teteroa McMillan, my receiver champion, by the way. The past 2 weeks, man, it's been really just a dud.
Yeah.
3 catches in each of the last 2 weeks. Now, 2 weeks ago, he had two touchdowns in those 3 catches. You can't predict that, but otherwise it was 3 catches for 29 yards. So I think we need a little bit of Andy Dalton in there throwing him the ball. The past 2 weeks he's had 5 targets, but prior to that, He's had no less in the first 5 weeks, no less than 8 targets. Get him back to that 8 to 10 target range, and you're going to see T-Mac explode. So this could be the defense. This could be the matchup. This could be the quarterback to do it. So I'm starting T-Mac with major confidence this week, man. All right, let's keep moving here. Mike Evans. God damn it, Mike Evans. This is rough, man. Mike Evans, broken collarbone. He's going to miss most of the rest of the year, guys. 6 to 8 weeks is what he's looking at. Obviously, he's going to put him in your IR. You could drop him. It's hard to hold on to a guy. Maybe you get him back in the playoffs. And if you're not in a position right now to be making the playoffs, you're 2-5, you're 3-4, you might have to drop Mike Evans here, guys. Or maybe try to move him to a team that could use him for a playoff push, a team that's 7-0, 6-1, something along those lines. But what is this doing with you, Frankie, moving on to the forward here with the Buccaneers passing attack?
I mean, guys, here's the deal. What we're seeing from Bake is he is able to distribute the ball to damn near anybody. Now, this is a big loss. Like, let's not, like, this, like, let's be honest with ourselves. And also, it sucks, sidebar, that, I mean, I wanted to see him break the record. I know he tied the record with Jerry Rice, 11 straight seasons of 1,000 yards. Guys, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer in my eyes, Super Bowl champion, all this shit. That sucks. But setting that to the side, I actually think Tez Johnson could be really, really interesting. What we're seeing is that is the guy that Baker's looking for the deep threat. And so if Godwin continues to be out, and if Emeka Egbuka, obviously he's going to be receiver 1 walking in, but he's banged up. Look for Cade Otton. Look for Tez Johnson. You know, we mentioned it last week, man. Sterling Shepard is a really safe floor in PPR. We showed it. He showed it on the Monday night game, right? I mean, I think at halftime he already had, it was something like 4 catches for like 20 yards. Yeah, it was only 20 yards. But in full PPR, if you need a guy to step in and get you 7-8 points plus, that's Sterling Shepard. But if you're more half PPR, I'm going to go with the high flyer Tez Johnson and try to strike gold.
All right. Players to watch here, guys. Just a couple of things you're going to have to look at. It's, again, we record on Tuesdays. Not a ton of information on the injuries, but some players to watch. Lamar Jackson missed practice again on Monday. Going to have to watch practice this week for him, guys. It's not looking great for him to start. Brock Purdy and Ricky Pearsall for the 49ers are still questionable. Brock Purdy was not quite there to make it this week. So we got to watch practice this week as well. J.J. McCarthy, quarterback for the Vikings, ankle injury. He could return in week 9 versus the Chargers. Keep an eye on that. Kyler Murray with a foot injury. It's too early to tell if he's going to start in week 9 or not. They have a bye this week. Going to have to watch practice next week. Josh Palmer, week to week right now with an injury. Cole Kmet, tight end for the Bears, left the game with a back injury. Both of those tight ends are banged up now. Going to have to monitor that. Calvin Ridley, still questionable with a hamstring. Not really a guy that I'm going to tell you to roll out there even if he was fully healthy. This offensive passing attack for the Titans looks absolutely pitiful.
Bad.
Pitiful, yeah. Brock Bowers and Jacoby Myers looking to return in week 9 after the bye this week. Desperately needed. Desperately needed. Brock Bowers, in my mind, guys, trade low candidate if you can. Try to buy Brock Bowers. You might have an owner who's frustrated, not willing to keep him through the bye here. See what you can do and see if you can get him for something. He's going to be a target monster when he gets back in. They desperately need him. Oh, yeah. Dontavian Wicks, let's go over to the Packers here. Dontavian Wicks, a new injury. I think every single week he's got a brand new injury. This one's the calf. Not like you're throwing Wicks out there anyway, but what this does do makes really interesting. Christian Watson, he's not going to play in week 8, but he could return in week 9. Guys, get ahead of this. Always look at who's starting to come back from injury. Get ahead of it a week early so you're not having to pay money for him next week. Christian Watson could be a very sneaky deep threat for this team. Yeah, absolutely. The passing game needs it in Green Bay. Josh Downs, questionable for this week. Garrett Wilson, really interesting here, could return this week, according to head coach Aaron Glenn. Sounds like coach speak to me. You know, I don't like listening to the head coaches because he wants the other team preparing to play against Garrett Wilson. So I'm more of the mind that he's going to be, most likely out or a very good candidate for a Fridays with Frankie. Huh?
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. Last one here, Nico Collins in the concussion protocol. That you're going to have to pay attention to. We'll probably get that on Fridays with Frankie as well.
Yep.
Keep in mind, Marvin Harrison Jr. last week in the concussion protocol, he played this week. He was able to clear. So it's not the kiss of death for that week if you're in the concussion protocol. So you're going to have to pay attention to that. All right, that is the news, guys. All right, guys, football season, it's in full swing. In fact, fantasy football season is halfway through. Unbelievable. Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. Playing Underdog is so easy, guys. Frankie and I do it every single week. All you need to do is pick whether your favorite players are going to go higher or lower on all kinds of stats, rushing yards, receptions, touchdowns, anything you can think of. Get your picks right, and you can win up to 5,000 times your cash, guys. Frankie, do we have a good pick'em for everybody this week?
Oh, we sure do, Johnny boy. This week on Underdog, I'm looking at two particular players, the first being Romeo Doubs. That's right, we were just talking about the Packers. I'm going back to the Packers, baby. We're going to look at him higher than 48.5 yards receiving versus that of Pittsburgh, who's been giving up quite a bit. And fun fact, he's actually hit this in each of the last 3 weeks as well. And we're going to pair that with Jalen Hurts, who is higher than 211 passing yards versus the Giants. He has also hit this 4 out of the last 5 weeks. And don't downplay, because this is a revenge game for that of the Eagles.
Download the app today and sign up with promo code FRANKLY to score $100 in bonus funds or bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code FRANKLY. Underdog. Make picks. Win money. Must be 18 plus. 19 plus in Alabama, Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia. And present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms_DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7-HOPE-LINE at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369. All right, Frankie, let's look ahead to week 8 here, man. It is the Bipocalypse. It is our first Bimageddon, as we like to say here. We got some teams on a bye, dude.
Damn.
Woo! All right, let's go. We got the Cardinals on a bye, Lions, Jaguars, Raiders, Rams, and Seahawks. Couple of fantasy players here, Frankie.
Just a
We're going to
few.
be without. Yeah. All right. All right, let's look at. We like talking about buy and sell, Frankie. We're trading maniacs. We love it.
Constantly.
Yeah, my leagues, you're always getting an offer that's bullshit from Frankie and always wanting a starting place.
Always.
You're getting offers from me that are quite fair. You know,
Hey, we made a trade.
we made a trade.
trade.
Together.
Look
Hey,
at
how about that?
us.
Look at us. And it paid off. I'm not going to lie.
It did.
Yeah. All right. All right. So a couple of guys here, Frankie. Buy or sell. T. Higgins. Sell now. Do you agree?
I agree. And here's why, guys. Again, we talked about George Pickens, right, last week. We told you trade his ass. And again, he had 6 targets, 4 receptions, 82 yards. That is 10 points in half PPR. Guys, T. Higgins had an explosive game. And what we have seen, if you are a Browns fan, I know many of you are not, but if you are a Browns fan, what we have seen historically, Joe Flacco, you're wacko for Flacco. Holy shit, things are going great. You flack around and find out. And then, boom, crater, right?
Yeah.
Completely decimates everything around him. And so for me, guys, we may see T. Higgins continue a couple game trajectory of going up. But what will eventually happen with Flacco at the helm is there's going to be 3 interceptions, 175, 200 yards one game, and everything craters from that point. So that is why we would be saying sell T. Higgins at this point in time. You could get a ton of value right now, especially after that last game.
And especially with the bye weeks. You know, I mean, you're missing Marvin Harrison Jr., you're missing Amon-Ra St. Brown, Brian Thomas Jr.,
Jameson
Javonte
Williams.
Adams, JSN, Jameson Williams. You're missing so many receivers this week. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, now's the time somebody's going to need him, guys. And if you can, you've gone this far without T. Higgins.
Right.
That's the way I'm looking at it. He's been on my bench all
Good call.
fucking year since Burrow
Yep.
got hurt. So at this point, yeah, I'm going to try to sell him and get
Yep.
something out of him, guys. Now's the time to do it. Take advantage of somebody being in dark times with all the buys here. All right, what about Jalen Waddle here, man? Are you going to waddle your way into a victory with him? Or, I mean, we're looking at a QB change potentially. Tua got benched for Ewers. Ewers. I just don't want any part of this offense other than Achane. I mean,
Same.
is now the time to move Jalen Waddle, or are you
Yes.
buying him low?
No, I think that this is the time to move Jalen Waddle, guys. Listen, I get it. He's really the only receiver. We're seeing, I believe it's Malik Washington doing some really cool shit over there for the Dolphins in terms of a second fiddle kind of guy. But it is Jalen Waddle as the number 1 receiver on a terrible ass team.
Yeah.
Like, this team is in complete disarray, from the head coach to Tua Tagovailoa to the offensive line to the defense as a whole. So for me, man, I don't want any part of it outside of Achane, to your point. So I would be actually looking to move Waddle, getting great value for him before shit starts to happen. And go ahead and pick up Washington. I mean, again, he's getting 4 targets, 5 targets, 6 targets. We'll wait and see what happens with Ewers. Again, we saw Ewers as a true pocket passer for that of Texas, and actually was pretty damn good, right? He fended off Arch Manning and led his team all the way to play the Buckeyes in the semifinals. So for me, man, I think Ewers is actually a better quarterback than what people are giving him credit for. However, being honest with ourselves, they're in complete disarray. This is a shit show. I would be looking to move off of Waddle.
How dare you try to sell me on Ewers? Stop
Ewers.
it. Stop
Ewers.
it.
Oh, yeah.
Ewy.
Ew.
Yeah, 1 catch for 15 yards last week for Jalen Waddle, by
Yeah.
the way. So you may be out of the selling him phase at this
Yes.
moment anyway. All right. Chase Brown, we're with the Bengals. We're saying sell T. Higgins. Is this an opportunity to move Chase Brown? What are you going to do with him?
Yes. This is finally the opportunity. There was enough there to where it was like, oh, 100-yard game. Oh, there was a competence there. Oh, Joe Flacco breathed life back into this offense a bit. And so Chase Brown looked good. Guys, Johnny, you said it and it was brilliant. And I haven't heard anybody else frame it this way, is that you have done without T. Higgins all year. So you're not missing anything. You've gone without Chase Brown all freaking year long. So move his ass now. Guys, this isn't going to get that much better. It's not like they're going to turn around and all of a sudden be a playoff team because of Joe Flacco. I'm sorry. We've seen it. We've lived it. And also their offensive line is still not that great. And so for me, man, like looking at this, okay, well, who would you get? How would this look? For me, if I'm looking to offset Chase Brown or get rid of him, you may be able to flip him and package him together with a Jordan Addison. Maybe you look to target Omarion Hampton, who I know isn't going to come back until potentially week 12. But if you have the opportunity, if you are a high-profile player, if you are 4-2, or what is it? It would be 4-3, 5-2, 6-1, 7-0. You may be able to sit on Hampton a bit and get an additional piece, where you may be able to get a receiver 3 or a good flex piece to kind of offset some of this. So for me, man, yeah, I think that you could totally look to offloading that of Chase Brown.
Okay. Talk to me about Derrick Henry. He's been very, very quiet, running back 20 at this point. Coming off of a bye, they're going to be at home against Chicago. We know we can run against Chicago, it seems. Couple of decent games coming up at Miami, at Minnesota, rough one at Cleveland. What are we doing with Derrick Henry right now, man? I mean, is this an opportunity to buy him, or are you looking at selling Derrick Henry?
Buy low. Huge buy low candidate, guys. Target every single person that has Derrick Henry. And I know I sound like ridiculous, but trust me when I say this, and here's why. Guys, Lamar Jackson could be coming back. If he comes back, this entire team completely changes. In addition to that, he's coming off, outside of the bye week, he's coming off his first 100-yard game since that of week 1. Okay, so now there's a little bit of momentum happening. And you look at the schedule. Chicago, that's pretty favorable. Miami, yeah. And then you have Minnesota, that's interesting. Cleveland's tough, right? Cleveland's tough, let's be honest. Jets are a little bit tough. But then you have Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, New England to round off basically your playoffs. Guys, yes. If Lamar comes back in, the Ravens might not lose another game. That's the reality. They're sitting there 1-5, and everybody's like, ooh, look at the Ravens being shitty. Guys, their schedule is really cream puff, kind of down towards the back half. So for me, man, buy DH, King Henry low. And if worse comes to worse, even if he's giving you 12, 13 points a game, guys, that's not terrible. So you can get him for a good price.
All right, talk to me about Ramondre Stevenson, Frankie. I think this is a huge opportunity to sell the shit out of Ramondre Stevenson. We told you last week to buy Trevion Henderson. I think this is a long-term play. This is for your playoffs. This is the Amon-Ra effect, where the final 5 games of the seasons where Henderson, Trevion can blow up here. He had a big game this past week. They've got a real rough schedule ahead here, man.
Real rough.
Yeah. I'm saying move Ramondre while you can get something for him. He's super
Sell his
frustrating,
ass.
but he's been productive, so I think
Yep.
you can get something for him. Yeah. All right, so let's get into some start sits here, Frankie. I'm going to talk about, I'm confused, a little Confucius over here with the Houston offense. Okay, Houston Texans offense, specifically the backfield. Woody Marks or Nick Chubb? A lot of buys this week. We might have to start these guys. What are you doing here?
Guys, this is a shit show. Like, this backfield is terrible. This offense is terrible. The offensive line is terrible. CJ Stroud is playing average, right? Nico Collins concussion. There's a lot of negative stuff with this offense. However, if I'm looking between Woody Marks and Nick Chubb, guys, I'm actually leaning Woody Marks. He ended up out-rushing or had more touches than that of Nick Chubb this past week. He had 10 rushes, 15 yards, but he's doing it through the pass game. He had 5 targets, 3 receptions, 20 yards, and a touchdown. Nick Chubb, unfortunately, is a one-trick pony. He's not what he used to be, and it's tough to see, right? He had 5 rushes, 16 yards, 3 targets, 1 reception for -5 yards. So they're both kind of trash right now. However, knowing you have the bye weeks, if you're deciding between one or the other, for me, guys, it's going to be Woody Marks, and I'm hoping he can get it done through the passing game.
Absolutely. He's got 9 catches on 116 yards and 2 touchdowns receiving this year. So, yeah, I mean, that's the move I would make. I would go with Woody Marks over Nick Chubb here, especially in a PPR, half PPR. If you're absolute desperation, you start Woody Marks this week. It's not great, but it's going to give you something if you're desperate. All right, what are the Patriots' options here versus the Browns? You know, I mean, the Browns' defense is legit.
Super legit.
It's absolutely legit. We've seen them do it week over week here. This is not a fluke. It's a trend. Now you've got the Patriots. Drake May playing out of his goddamn mind. He looks great.
Looks great.
What are we doing, though, here, man?
Guys, you're level setting expectation. Now, again, with the bipocalypse occurring, you're probably going to need to start Diggs. That's just the reality of it. You may even need to start Kayshon Boutte. The issue is they are not good starts. I would even say, yeah, Hunter Henry could be awesome until you see who's across the field from him, and it's Carson Swessinger, who right now is the leading candidate for Rookie Defensive Player of the Year.
Awesome.
So, guys, this is like the Browns. When you look at the Browns team, and this is taking everything, obviously I'm biased, but I'm trying to be unbiased here. Taking everything into consideration, the Browns defense is phenomenal. Their offense couldn't barely be worse outside of Quinshon Judkins. So for me, Diggs, you're probably going to need to start, though you're going to be happy if he gets you 8 to 10 points. Kayshon Boutte, if he can get you 8 to 10, you're very happy with that as well. The Browns are locked down. Tyson Campbell, who they made that trade with Greg Newsome, actually is looking better than Newsome does. And it's crazy. And you're pairing that with Denzel Ward and Grant Delpit playing out of his ass, and you got Myles Garrett coming down looking like a bat out of hell. And you can't tell me that there's some sort of edge here to the Browns, meaning that they feel some type of way because of Vrabel. Because last year, remember, Vrabel was on the staff of the Browns and there was something there. So for me, man, I could see there being a chip on the shoulder for the Browns. I'm not saying they're going to win this game, but I'm saying it could be a defensive slugfest. So yes, you're going to need to fire up Diggs. You may need to fire up Boutte, but level set expectation.
Talk to me about Drake May. Talk to me about the quarterback 4 in fantasy football right now. Let me build it up here a little bit first, Frank. He's got 2 games, 2 out of 7 games under 20 points. Okay, the guy's absolutely crushing it right now.
He is.
I mean, what do we do? I mean, he's got to still be able to put up over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns against this Browns defense, right?
He could, but what happens if he ends up getting sacked 4 times? That's something that's totally possible. What happens if he ends up, the Browns secondary end up really holding their own, and his rushing capability is going to be much less against a linebacking core that's very athletic. And so for me, man, you got to start Drake May. I'm not saying to bench him. You got to start him as QB4. But again, if he ends up getting you 15, 16, 18, 19 points, you're walking away very happy with that. And the reason also that I'm saying to start Drake May is because he's not just doing it through the passing game. Guys, last week alone, he had 62 yards rushing. So especially in a league to where, you have a dual threat capability, that's 6 points for rushing right there. And then hopefully he can get you a touchdown or maybe get you 200 yards passing, eclipse that 15 to 20 point mark. It's totally possible, but it's not a great matchup, though I'm starting him.
All right. Well, let's see how you feel about Drake May. Let's put this
Okay.
into actual fantasy practical applications here,
Okay.
Frankie. Kirk Cousins at home against the Dolphins or Drake May?
Holy shit.
Right.
I'm going to go actually Kirk Cousins at home versus the
All right.
Dolphins.
Okay. What about Jackson Dart at the Eagles or Drake May?
I am going to go Drake May. I'm going to go Drake May. I think the Eagles, I just see it from a mile away. This is revenge game. The Giants embarrass them. They have this game circled right now. Eagles are hot. Yeah, it could be bad.
Caleb Williams at the Ravens or Drake May?
Caleb Williams at the Ravens. The Ravens defense is giving up a shit ton. Caleb Williams is due for a bounce back. Yeah, fire up Caleb Williams.
All right, here's the last one here for you, Frankie. Aaron Rodgers at home against the Packers or Drake May against Cleveland?
Oh, it's so hard. Oh, that's so
These are
hard.
streaming options that people are going to have
These
to deal
are.
with. Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Hot take. I'm going to go Aaron Rodgers. This is a, and I say that because he has something to prove.
Revenge game.
This is a revenge game against the Packers. This is something that he wants to show out on. I could just see DK having a big week, Jalen Warren having a big week. By the way, their tight ends as a whole, all three of them are fucking awesome. Darnell Washington, 6'7", 300 pounds, looking like he could be a left tackle, but he's so athletic, he's catching the ball like crazy. You have Freiermuth over 100 yards and Janu Smith catching touchdowns. I'm going Aaron Rodgers this week.
I love it, man. All right. Talk to me about what could be. Is this going to be the stack of the week, Frankie? We talked about some amazing stacks already. Bo Nix and Cortland Sutton. You've got this stack. You've been going crazy.
Yeah,
Bo Nix is my champion. Came off a huge fourth quarter comeback. Dude scored 3 touchdowns himself in the fourth quarter to make this comeback. Unbelievable. Talk to me about it. What do you think about it this week, man?
It's probably the best start of the week. It's probably the best stack of the week, guys. And especially with all of the buys and everything happening, Bo Nix, Cortland Sutton versus the Dallas defense that's depleted, that's not looking great. Yes, I love it. Sure, Dallas looked good last week just because it was a shit show for Washington. But for me, man, I am all about it. Washington is not Denver. Denver's super legit. They're 5-2, looking like an absolute powerhouse. Fire this stack up.
This should be a fun game.
Should be a great game.
I mean, I know Denver's defense is excellent.
Amazing.
Very, very good, but I don't think that's going to stop Dak and CeeDee. I think it's going to crush Javonte Williams. I'm certainly looking for another option besides Javonte, but I think Pickens and CeeDee, I mean, Dak's going to have to throw the ball 50 times this game.
Definitely.
I mean, I really think so. So I think you're just going to be able to volume your way from the Cowboys receivers. But, dude, I'm starting everybody on Denver.
Definitely.
I'm starting J.K. Dobbins and feeling great about that.
Yep.
Obviously, the Bo Nix and Cortland Sutton stack. I'm throwing Marvin Mims out there, man.
Troy Franklin.
Troy Franklin. I think those are 2 sneaky starts. We're talking about the Dallas defense here, guys. Bottom of the barrel.
Bottom of the barrel.
We made fun of Miami, but when it comes to Dallas, you can throw on Dallas. They're worse than Miami. So, yeah, man, absolutely. I'm firing up everybody on the Denver Broncos.
Fire them up.
Yeah. Washington at Kansas City. Good matchup here. Poor Washington team, man. What are you doing with this guy?
It's just Ertz. That's it, man. I mean, Kansas City's defense is good enough, especially with them being able to control the ball on offense. This could be bad without Jaden Daniels, guys. I'm not starting anybody other than Zach Ertz.
The KC side, obviously huge stack with Mahomes and Rashid Rice. Xavier Worthy. I'm confused. Is he back to boom bust? Is that what we're looking at now with him? I mean, is Xavier Worthy the same as Rashid Shaheed at this point? Is he the same as, who are some of these other boom bust guys? I mean, is that where we are with him at the moment?
Yeah. And we talked about, this could open up Xavier Worthy a bit more, but what we're seeing is, I mean, Rice is truly dominate. He dominated the target share. I mean,
he does
10
everything
targets
from everywhere on the field.
I mean, he's so good. Like, he's that level of good. And then you have Xavier Worthy, who I think that what's going to happen is, again, they're playing the Washington Commanders. Last week, when you look at what Xavier Worthy did, he had 4 targets, 3 receptions, 35 yards. The week before, 4 targets, 2 receptions, 20 yards. They're going to have to get him involved in the rushing attack as well, do some interesting things like what they used to do with Tyreek Hill. That's how they're going to have to start utilizing Worthy. But yeah, man, we could be looking a little bit more boom bust than what I originally had thought. But it's also one game back for Rashee Rice. So we're going to have to see how this continues to play out. But yeah, I mean, I'm starting Xavier Worthy, but I'm also, level setting expectation that it's like, shit. He's not going to be a guy that's going to be putting up mid to upper teams every particular week.
Yeah, let's see what happens this week. But I could see next week if he does have a big game, because I think he is going to be boom bust. I just don't think there's any way around that. He's only getting a handful of targets, 3-4 targets a game, If he does score big, it could be an opportunity to move him. So we may be looking at buy or sell with Xavier Worthy next week. Speaking of, we did say to buy Isaiah Pacheco. I did say that last week. Guys, you should do it. Continue to try to buy him if you can. He's the guy in the backfield. He's looking good. Is it how are you feeling about Kareem Hunt and Brashard Smith in that backfield as well? Because there is some value there.
Totally.
It's starting to percolate a little bit. What do you do with that backfield?
Brashard Smith. He's the dark horse. Guys, focus on Brashard Smith. I agree with you. Pacheco is looking like he's finally back to form. He's running mean. He's running fast. He's running hard. And yeah, he's not having 100-yard games. I get that. But what we're seeing is the uptick in rushes. We're seeing a touchdown now here and there. This is really positive. But Brashard Smith out of the pass game is very, very interesting. They're slowly getting this rookie more and more involved. And I'm not saying it's going to start eating away Pacheco's value, but I'm saying there's going to be a time and a place for Pacheco, and there's going to be a time and a place, in my opinion, for Brashard Smith. I think actually Kareem Hunt might be the third fiddle.
Yeah, I mean, looking forward with Isaiah Pacheco, he finally got 15, carries.
Yep.
15 touches here, 57 yards and a touchdown. That was against the Raiders. I get it, but we've got Washington, then we're at Buffalo, and then a bye. You've got some value there for Pacheco. So absolutely, I think these next 2 games he could blow up. Try to get him if you absolutely can now. All right, Frankie, let's do, I haven't brought this song out for a while. So, I think it's a good time to end on a high note here. Let's do a little bit of a Would You Rather.
Let's do it.
Would you rather poke a stick up in your eye or eat a bag of shit? Sit up on a pineapple or throw it on her dick? I said, would you rather?
All right, Would You Rather? Love that song.
Go,
Shout out to Anthony Stone for bringing that song.
Shout out, Plume.
Love you, brother. Love you, brother. All right, man. Let's look at a Would You Rather, Frankie. I want to see how you feel about this one. We got Justin Herbert versus Minnesota at home, Thursday Night Football, or Dak at Denver. What are we doing?
Guys, hot take. Super spicy. I'm going with Herbs. I'm gonna put some fresh herbs on this salad, baby, on this steak. I'm gonna get excited watching him cook some shit up at home against Minnesota, who's been just on a free fall, losing some crazy close games as well. But listen, man, for me, it strictly comes down to the QB7 Justin Herbert playing out of his mind with the weapons that he has, with the defense that he's playing against versus that of the QB2 in Dak Prescott, playing arguably one of the best defenses I personally have seen in a very long time. Patrick Surtain against CeeDee Lamb, get your popcorn. That's going to be one of the best matchups of the year. And then on top of it, you look at Nick Bonito for Denver, coming off the edge, looking like an absolute bat out of hell. Man, I would actually rather be with that of Justin Herbert than that of Dak Prescott for this week. Hot take.
Hot take. I love it. That is the episode for the week, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Please don't forget to follow us on social media. This is the episode that comes out, but all week long, we're on social media just going apeshit. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Join us, guys. It's Frankly Fantasy Football. And on YouTube, please don't forget, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It's going to tell you every week when our episodes come out. Hopefully, we bring you a little bit of value. Supplement all of your intake. I know you guys are just sponges absorbing fantasy football all week long. We try to go in directions that might other people don't and try to help you out. Frankie, what else are you bringing to the table here every week on social media?
Guys, we're doing Tuesday waiver wire pickup. So you will be seeing a reel for the top players on the waiver you need to be targeting to get you ready, right? We called out Xavier Leggett. We called out Alec Pierce. We called out some of these guys that are absolutely performing. So give it a look. Check these guys out. Pick their asses up. In addition, Fridays with Frankie, guys, this has never been more important. I want to make this crystal clear. Right now, we are mid of the season. Right now is the time for you to not make a mistake. You have to know what injuries are happening. You have to know what particular players maybe are questionable coming in or that are ready to go. Guys, I'll be dropping all of that, the top 5 things you need to know on Friday to get you ready for your games this week.
And don't forget to support our sponsors, guys. If you want the Chat GPT of fantasy football, it's rotobot.ai. Guys, download the app, put in promo code CHAMP. You're going to get a couple of free days to check out the software. Frankie and I use it every week. It is fucking awesome. Love it, man. Also, go to Underdog, download the app, put in your pick'ems, guys. You're going to get $100 on your first $5 pick'ems. Put in the promo code Frankly and enjoy like we do, guys. All right, good luck on the Bye-pocalypse and the Bye-mageddon. Let's go. I'm going to leave you hanging there. I know where you're going, Frankie. May the fantasy gods smile upon you. Bye.